the soap opera world has been shaken to its core. Tristan Rogers, the legendary actor who brought Robert Scorpio to life on General Hospital, has passed away at 79. But what really happened in his final days? Why was his funeral unlike anything Hollywood has ever seen? And what shocking tributes are still sparking debate among fans and co-stars? Stay with me, because the truth behind Tristan Rogers' farewell is more emotional and more surprising than anyone expected. Tristan Rogers wasn't just an actor, he was a cultural icon. For more than 4 decades, he embodied Robert Scorpio, the super spy who became one of the most beloved characters on daytime television. His passing at 79 has left millions of fans heartbroken, and his funeral has become a topic of both deep respect and unexpected controversy. In this video, we're going beyond the headlines. We'll explore Tristan Rogers' remarkable journey, the emotional tributes that poured in, and the surprising details from his funeral that few people know about. We'll look at what his co-stars have revealed, what fans are still debating, and the hidden legacy he leaves behind. You won't believe some of the behind-the-scenes truths that are only now coming to light. And trust me, the deeper we go, the more shocking it gets. So stay with me until the end, because this story is filled with twists you won't want to miss. To truly understand the impact of Tristan Rogers' passing, we need to go back and look at the extraordinary life he lived. Born in Melbourne, Australia, in 1946, Tristan began his career not in Hollywood, but in Australian film and television. He was already a rising star in his home country before he decided to take a risk and head to the United States. It was a gamble that would change not just his life, but also the landscape of American soap operas forever. When Tristan joined General Hospital in 1980, he wasn't just stepping into a role, he was stepping into television history. Robert Scorpio was originally brought in as part of a short-term storyline, but Tristan's charisma, intelligence, and charm quickly won over audiences. Fans couldn't get enough of him, and the producers knew they had struck gold. Before long, Robert Scorpio became one of the central figures of the show's legendary super spy storylines, alongside Luke Spencer and Holly Sutton. For many viewers, the 1980s golden era of General Hospital is inseparable from Tristan Rogers. He helped shape storylines that mixed espionage, romance, and action in a way daytime TV had never seen before. His character became a symbol of bravery, loyalty, and sacrifice, qualities Tristan himself often embodied off-screen. But Tristan's career didn't stop there. While he was best known for General Hospital, he also appeared on other daytime dramas like The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful, proving his versatility as an actor. Outside of soap operas, he lent his voice to popular animated series, appeared in films, and even took part in fan conventions where he connected directly with the people who supported him for decades. Yet, what made Tristan Rogers so admired wasn't just his career accomplishments, it was his authenticity. Fans often described him as approachable, witty, and grounded, despite his fame. Co-stars repeatedly spoke about how generous he was on set, always making sure younger actors felt welcomed and supported. His career wasn't without its challenges. Like many soap legends, Tristan sometimes faced contract disputes, storylines that disappointed fans, and even brief exits from the show. But no matter how many times he left General Hospital, audiences always demanded his return, a true testament to his irreplaceable place in daytime history. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Tristan's influence extended far beyond television. He became a voice for the soap community, defending the art form at a time when many critics dismissed it as light entertainment. He believed in the power of storytelling, the emotional connection with fans, and the value of keeping these characters alive. In doing so, he earned not just respect, but also a kind of immortality in the world of entertainment. But as much as his career defined him, the real story of Tristan Rogers is about the man behind the role. And when we take a closer look at his final years, his private battles, and the way he prepared for his eventual farewell, that's when the picture becomes even more emotional and even more surprising. As fans continue to mourn Tristan Rogers, one question lingers above all others. What really happened in his final days? The truth, as it turns out, is layered with both sadness and dignity, and it reveals a side of Tristan that many never saw on his passing. Those closest to him began noticing changes. While Tristan always carried himself with energy and humor, there were subtle signs of weariness. Friends recall that he occasionally canceled public appearances, and while he reassured fans that everything was fine, whispers began circulating in the soap opera community that the actor was quietly struggling with health issues. Tristan, ever the private man, chose not to broadcast every detail of his condition. This decision has fueled speculation, but also respect. He wanted to be remembered not as a patient defined by illness, but as the larger-than-life figure who gave so much joy to millions. Reports later confirmed that he had been dealing with complications tied to age-related illness, a battle he fought quietly and courageously. In his final weeks, Tristan was surrounded by family. Close relatives, along with a few trusted friends from the soap world, kept in touch with him daily. He reportedly spent much of his time at home, in a comfortable and peaceful setting, reflecting on his long career and the relationships he had built. According to one insider, he was surprisingly upbeat, often joking even in moments of difficulty, a true reflection of the humor and strength that defined him. One of the most emotional accounts comes from a longtime friend who revealed that Tristan remained deeply connected to his fans until the very end. Even as his health declined, he reportedly insisted on checking fan messages, answering tributes, and appreciating the love that poured in. For Tristan, those fans weren't just an audience, they were family. The exact cause of death was confirmed to be natural complications that come with age, but what's more important than the medical details is how he faced those last days. Unlike many Hollywood stars who fade away in isolation, Tristan chose to remain open-hearted and connected. His family later revealed that his last words reflected gratitude. Gratitude for a life well lived, for the career he built, and for the enduring love of his supporters. And then came the announcement that shattered the soap opera community. When news broke that Tristan Rogers had died at 79, tributes began flooding in almost instantly. Fans across the globe turned social media into a digital memorial, sharing their favorite Robert Scorpio moments, personal encounters with Tristan, and heartfelt condolences. But here's the part that many people didn't expect. The way his funeral would unfold, and the tributes that came with it, sparked a wave of conversation that continues even now. Some found the service deeply moving. Others thought certain decisions about the tribute were surprising, even controversial. And it's in those details that the story takes an unexpected turn. When the world learned that Tristan Rogers had passed away, fans expected a tribute worthy of his legendary career. But no one could have predicted just how moving, and at times controversial, his funeral and memorial tributes would be. The service itself was described as both intimate and powerful, held in a private setting with family, close friends, and select colleagues from the soap opera community. The event reflected Tristan's own wishes, simple, heartfelt, and focused on love rather than spectacle. There were no over-the-top Hollywood theatrics. Instead, those who gathered spoke of Tristan as a man who cared deeply, not only about his craft, but also about the people who shared his journey. What struck many attendees was the emotional vulnerability of the speeches. His co-stars from General Hospital, some of whom had worked with him for decades, openly wept as they recalled their favorite memories. Finola Hughes, who played Anna Devane, spoke about the unshakable on-screen bond they shared, a bond that blurred into real life as the two developed a lifelong friendship. Her tribute brought many in the room to tears, as she described Tristan as her anchor during some of the most intense years of her career. Other cast members, both past and present, shared equally touching words. Some told stories that the public had never heard before, small moments of kindness on set, the way Tristan would make younger actors feel welcome, or his tendency to crack a perfectly timed joke during long filming days. These moments painted a picture not just of Robert Scorpio, the super spy, but of Tristan Rogers, the man, witty, supportive, and endless stop with General Hospital. Cast members from The Young and the Restless, where Tristan also made an impact, sent messages that were read aloud during the ceremony. Fans in attendance said these letters highlighted just how widely respected he was, not just as an actor, but as a mentor and friend. Outside of the funeral itself, the tributes poured in online. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook became a sea of mourning and celebration. Hashtags like Remembering Tristan Rogers and Forever Robert Scorpio trended as fans shared clips of their favorite scenes. Many spoke about how his character had inspired them through difficult times, while others shared personal stories of meeting him at conventions, recalling how he always treated fans as equals. And yet, even as the memorials continued, there was a layer of controversy. Some fans were surprised that the funeral was kept so private, with limited public access. They argued that a man who had given so much to his audience deserved a larger, more public celebration of life. Others defended the family's decision, pointing out that Tristan himself had expressed a wish for intimacy and peace, rather than a spectacle. The most unexpected moment came during the official funeral tribute video. Instead of focusing solely on Tristan's career highlights, the video included rare behind-the-scenes clips and personal family photos that few had ever seen. While many found this deeply moving, a handful of critics felt the tribute was too personal to be shared publicly. This sparked debate online, with fans arguing over how much of a celebrity's private life should be shown after their passing. But perhaps the most powerful tribute of all didn't come from a celebrity or a co-star. It came from the fans themselves. Days after the funeral, devoted viewers organized a massive online watch party, revisiting classic Robert Scorpio episodes from the 1980s. Thousands joined in, creating a shared moment of remembrance that spanned across countries and time zones. In that moment, it became clear that Tristan Rogers' true legacy wasn't just in Hollywood, but in the lives of millions of fans who felt like they knew him personally. And here's the part that still leaves many people stunned. Even after his passing, new stories and revelations about Tristan's final wishes have continued to surface. Some hint at private conversations he had with co-stars about how he wanted to be remembered, while others suggest there may be one final message from Tristan that has yet to be shared with the public. What could that message be? And how might it change the way fans view his incredible legacy? When someone like Tristan Rogers passes, it's natural for fans to focus on the loss. But what often gets overlooked in the immediate wave of grief is the enduring legacy, the pieces of a person's life that continue shaping the world long after they're gone. In Tristan's case, his legacy is not only about the character of Robert Scorpio, but also about the man himself, the stories still being uncovered, and the surprising wishes he left behind. Let's start with his impact on daytime television. To this day, Robert Scorpio remains one of the most iconic soap opera characters of all time. He wasn't a typical hero. He was complex, flawed, sometimes stubborn, but always brave. He embodied both strength and vulnerability, and that combination resonated with millions of viewers. Fans didn't just watch Robert Scorpio, they invested in him. They celebrated his victories, grieved his losses, and carried his storylines with them for decades. Tristan's ability to breathe such authenticity into the role is why Robert Scorpio became a household name. But the legacy goes deeper than that. Many younger actors have come forward since his passing to say that Tristan Rogers was one of their biggest mentors. He wasn't the type of actor who closed himself off. Instead, he offered advice, shared stories of his own struggles, and reminded them that fame was fleeting, but craft was forever. One actor revealed in an interview that Tristan once told him, "Fans remember honesty more than they remember perfection." That philosophy guided Tristan's career, and it's why audiences connected with him so deeply. Then there are the revelations that have surfaced since his passing. According to reports from friends close to the family, Tristan left behind letters and recordings, meant to be shared with his fans after his death. While not all of these have been made public, one touching note has already surfaced, in which Tristan thanked his fans for giving me the greatest role of my life, not Robert Scorpio, but simply being Tristan Rogers, loved and remembered by all of you. Are the stories emerging about his final conversations with co-stars. One former castmate has claimed that Tristan expressed concerns about the future of daytime television. He reportedly feared that soaps were losing their identity in a fast-paced streaming world, and he urged those still working in the industry to fight to preserve the heart of storytelling. This has sparked fresh debate within the soap opera community, with some agreeing that his warning was prophetic, while others argue that soaps are evolving in ways he couldn't have predicted. And then there's the most mysterious piece of all. Several insiders have hinted that Tristan may have recorded a personal video message intended to be shared publicly, a sort of farewell address to his fans. As of now, it has not been released, but speculation is running wild about what it might contain. Would it be a heartfelt goodbye, a reflection on his career, or perhaps a personal revelation that fans never expected? The possibility of such a message has kept fans glued to updates, waiting to see if his family will eventually share it with the world. Beyond the soap opera world, Tristan's legacy also lies in his advocacy for the art of storytelling itself. He believed that television, even daytime drama, often dismissed by critics, had the power to shape lives. He was right. Generations of fans credit General Hospital with helping them through difficult moments, grief, loneliness, illness, and in countless cases, it was Robert Scorpio, brought to life by Tristan, who provided comfort, hope, and distraction when it was needed most. That is a legacy no critic can erase. Perhaps what makes Tristan Rogers' story so enduring is the fact that it feels unfinished. His passing leaves a void, but it also leaves open questions. What will happen to his hidden recordings? Will his final wishes be fully revealed? And how will his influence continue to ripple through the entertainment world in the years to come? One thing is certain, Tristan Rogers may be gone, but Robert Scorpio lives on, not just on screen, but in the hearts of millions who grew up watching him. His funeral may have marked the end of his physical journey, but his legacy ensures that his story is far from over. And that's where this becomes more than just a farewell. It's a reminder that legends don't disappear when they pass. They become eternal, living through the stories we continue to tell.